I salute Nigeria. I'm proud to be Nigerian, and for the very first time in a long time, I'm extremely proud to be a Nigerian. And why is that? Because for once, the youth of this country, the young people of this country, the intellectual people in this country have decided to understand and do some fundamental things that is going to bring about a change in our nation. And I'm so happy about that. It has started with the NSAS movement, but I believe it should not stop there. I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a long time since I've been online. I've been busy doing a couple of things, but hey, I'm here, Tobi Alli, and I'm about to serve us some information that I believe is fundamental and I believe will really transform our lives. I'll be right back immediately after this. All right, we're welcome. So it's important that we understand that this momentum that we've begun, we must not stop. We must go on. We must ensure that Nigeria becomes a great nation. And I want us to understand something. Nigeria actually started as a project. It started as a project that, was really propounded by some people for their selfish interest. But irrespective of what that is, our nation right now, the greatness of our nation is in our hands. Thank God for the prayers. Thank God for all the movements that is going on, but there is still a lot that we need to do. And one thing I also want to make sure that we do not forget is this: we the people are the government. Our true power, if you look at the picture just above me, whoever we elect into office, it's because we are the ones keeping them in balance. The day we decide and say no more, or we say we don't want this, we don't want that, that's when we will really begin to see a change in our nation. And it's important for us to understand that we need to even begin to hold our leaders accountable. We need to begin to hold them accountable for everything that they are doing. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers that are watching this video, thank you for signing up. Thank you for joining live. And even if you're watching this, the recorded version, please ensure that you share this video, because I'm telling you there are fundamental things that we need to learn in this video. And I'm going to be talking a lot about Nigeria this month, so stay tuned. At 6 o'clock, you are always going to see something about Nigeria. And let me just give us some few things about Nigeria before we go on. Now, we need to understand this, that as a nation, we need to create a design before we choose a builder. One of the biggest challenges we've had as a nation is that we just choose anyone into office. We just choose anybody, anyone that maybe strikes a chord with us. We just be, oh, they are good. For instance, I will not lie. When Buhari first came in, I thought, this guy, I think he will do some things with what I've heard in the past and stuff. Unfortunately, I don't know. It's one of my biggest regrets, right? But as great as that is, one thing we even need to understand about our nation, Nigeria, is this. Even as we keep pressing and demanding for better government, is this: if we do not have a design, if we do not have a template, if we do not have certain things that we believe should happen in our nation, it's going to be difficult for us to even choose the right set of people who will now be able to follow this blueprint. Because the idea I have, the ideas which I'll be throwing out as much as possible, is this: if Nigeria can have a template, if we can have a design, if we can have a strategy, if we can have a blueprint on what we expect our nation to be, then what happens is that whoever we choose must be someone we believe that can carry this out. And whenever they are not able to carry this out, guess what we do? We vote them out. If we can't vote them out, we go on the streets and we find a way to ensure that they are kicked out of office. Because one thing we need to understand is this: Nigeria is our nation. We cannot afford to be joking. We cannot afford to just be messing around. We cannot afford just to be the products of chance. Because as much as great as Nigeria is, with the kind of people that we have, with the kind of industries we have, the intellectuals, the population, our nation should not be this way at all. And there are many things about our nation that needs to be changed. But for this short video, I want us to just look at some fundamental things that we need to ask ourselves if we are really going to change our nation. So the first question we need to ask ourselves is this, and dear President, this is also addressed to you and everyone who is watching me. The question we want to ask ourselves is the first question: who is a Nigerian? Who is a Nigerian? Now, when we are able to answer this question, I'm sure there's a lot that will happen. Now, when we say who is Nigerian, what does that mean? It is a deep-rooted question. So when you say who is a Nigerian, we need to ask, okay, a Nigerian is XYZ. A Nigerian is someone who is born in this geographical part of the world, and whether the person was born in the north, whether the person was born in the south, whether the person was born in the east, wherever that person was born, as long as they were born in this territory, they are Nigerians. That is about place of birth, right? So the first thing we need to ask is this, and when we say who is a Nigerian, what we mean is anyone born in this territory has equal rights to everything there is in Nigeria. If we are really very serious about ourselves, let's be very factual, and this is nothing ethnic. I'm not trying to cause any ethnic bias or anything, but the question I want to ask you is this: in Nigeria today, who seems to be the major Nigerians? Is the Northerners. Because for some reason, we were set up to fail in this particular kind of dispensation, in this particular kind of format we have. And that is why, for instance, no matter how many, whoever wants to become president in Nigeria, without the North, you cannot rule. Without the North, you can't become president because of some certain things that are happening. And this is not even about causing maybe South versus North or whatever. This is about fundamental questions. How can people in Nigeria who will claim to be Nigerians be having better rights than others? For instance, there was a news that trended some days ago about how gold was found in a particular northern state and how this gold was sold to CBN, and the oil in other regions, the tax in Lagos, and so many other things are sent to the central and shared among everyone. So what does that mean? Are they saying that state, because it's from the north, they are superior Nigerians? Listen, we need to, and these are fundamental questions we need to ask ourselves. These are things even the National Assembly needs to even really deal with, because whether we like it or not, by the time I go into some very deep stuff, you are going to realize that this question is a fundamental question. For today, I just want to, this is the beginning of the series, this is something I want us to go and think about. Hope you know that even our founding fathers, this was not the dream they had. But somewhere along the line, the agreement between the British and Usman Danfodio has cost Nigeria a lot of headache, and we need to go back to the foundation, because guess what? This is the truth of the matter. Like I said before, we need to even think about our design, and the truth is this: we need to change this present foundation. We need to change this present foundation. I think maybe I should just even give us some snippets into what to expect. Now, these are some things that Harold Smith, if you want to know who Harold Smith is one of the colonial masters, one of the people that the British people sent to Nigeria, right? And this is something he said. Maybe I should just look at one or two things. Now, what's this? Look at what he said. He said this. Look at this just on top. He said this. He said, the traditional rulers in the north were made influential and superhuman. Why? He said the northerners were given accelerated promotion both in the military and in the civil service to justify their supremacy, to justify their superiority over the south, and everything was to work against the south. And you want to know why? Because, as I'll be revealing much closer, they had an agreement, and beyond the agreement, they found out that the northerners were easily manipulated. Why is it that even with all the so-called superiority that the north has been enjoying, why is it that the elites of the north are the one enjoying it? Why is it that it's even in that same north that we have the largest number of the poorest people in Nigeria? Do you see that this is not about ethnicity? This is about a wrong foundation. That even the north itself, it's only the elites that are enjoying it. We need to change this. We need to change this. We need to change this. And look at what he even said again. He said they truncated the good plan for the future. And they are very sorry for who? For Awolowo. I mean, for Awolowo and for his party AG. And why is that? He said it was a great party and that they had a lot of standard, and they planned to destroy Awolowo. And why? And Zik as well. And the West, and they sowed discord between the East and the West. You know what? I don't even want to go into this. In my next video, this is just something to wipe your appetite. In my next video, I'm going to be reading more about this. But these are some of the things I want us to understand, that we need to ask ourselves a fundamental question: who is a Nigerian? In fact, you know what? I think it's just this one we should pause on. Who is a Nigerian? And why is it that those in the Niger Delta, their own resources, right? You take from it and you send back to them 13%. And another state, other states that are not even contributing anything, they get even more from what you are getting from the Niger Delta, especially like a place like Bayelsa and Rivers. And we say we are Nigerians. Are we really Nigerians? We need to ask ourselves this fundamental question. Now, like it was said, Nigeria, we just celebrated 60 years of independence, and someone said 60 years is a retirement age. Now, am I against the breakup of Nigeria? No. But the question is this: if we do not come to this foundation and find out and answer the question who is a Nigerian and follow it up, maybe it might be better for us to go our separate ways. So I want us to understand something. As we are hitting the streets and demanding for government, we need to start asking ourselves some fundamental questions about Nigeria. Who really is a Nigerian? Are the Northerners superior to us? Are the South, are we less? This is a question we need to ask ourselves. Even the Biafra people that are agitating, they are not agitating for just agitating sake. They have been marginalized for so long. Even Lagos has been marginalized. The South has been marginalized. It seems that everything favors the North. Is the North Nigeria, or Nigeria is this whole region? So these are some fundamental questions we have to ask ourselves. And I need us to understand this. Listen, I know I'm seeing what is going on, NSAS and all that, fantastic, and we need to continue. And I want to say this to you. If you keep quiet at this time, you are one of our problems. There's enough time for you to advertise for your business. There's enough time for you to advertise about the different things you do. Your voice is needed at this time to bring about a change. Because guess what? If nothing happens, if we do not do something about this, our nation will keep going down. How can we be one of the greatest, nations with the greatest resources and population, and we are still the way we are? We need to begin to ask ourselves fundamental questions and begin to give answers to them. Who really is a Nigerian? That's the question we want to ask. What was even the point of saying state of origin, for instance? Are we not all Nigerians? And why is it that when it even comes to certain things, you be hearing quota system, you be hearing zoning and some funny things that has not worked for us? Who really is a Nigerian? And those are some fundamental questions that we need to ask ourselves, right? So watch out. I'm going to be talking a lot more about this. And then, Mr. President, you might be thinking, oh, you're President and co. Listen to this. Your children are there. Your grandchildren are there. This is not about you. This is not about you guys in National Assembly. This is about the future and the destiny of this great nation. This is not even about any particular tribe. This is about the vision that God has for Nigeria. This is about the destiny of the individuals in Nigeria. We need to do something about it. The time is right for us to begin to ask ourselves foundational questions. Who really is a Nigerian? And then we provide the necessary template to follow it up. This is just my 2 cents in this. I'm going to be revealing more as we go on, even in this series. Please be patriotic. Nigeria is our country. We need to do something about it. But the truth of the matter is that the present foundation that we have, the foundation is faulty. When you say who is a Nigerian, it seems like the Northerners are Nigerian. Look at their appointments. Why are they mostly Northerners? Look at almost everything happening. Why are they only Northerners? And the most annoying thing is that even the North is not enjoying it. It's just the elites. Nigeria is not a business center for some certain people. So we need to ask ourselves those fundamental questions. And the allocation of resources, allocation of funds should be according to the blueprint that we create. So ladies and gentlemen, no matter who is president, if we do not deal with our foundational problems, we are going to have some issues. I'll see you in the next video. It was great having this short time with you. Please feel free to make some comments. Thank you for joining also online. And if you want to also, reach out to me, you can reach out to me at coach@tobialli.com, or just follow me on my on my social media platform at I am Tobi Alli. I'll see you on the next time on Nation Matters. Salute.